In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh! Sorry about that. Didn't even see you there. Yeah. It's been a while, so. Well, then I suppose we should get down to business. I'm your host of The Josh Says, The Josh, and I'm going to begin by bringing you this week in wrestling. The news as far as things go. This past Tuesday, Jack Swagger was pulled over with a DUI charge and a possession of marijuana. As such, the popular catchphrase on the internet has become "Weed the People" as opposed to "We the People." That would be "Weed the People." W-E-E-D, weed, as in smoking some weed. Apparently that's why they have such a big beef with the Mexicans, because apparently the Mexicans control most of the pot that comes to the country. Or at least that's what most people will tell you. Ironically, his gimmick here has brought the attention of everyone's favorite news station, Fox, or a former Fox broadcaster by the name of Glenn Beck, who would go on to trash the company, trash Jack Swagger, trash Vince McMahon. The WWE would invite Glenn Beck to come to Monday Night Raw this evening and openly air whatever he had to say, unscripted, unprompted, and unedited, live in the middle of the ring. The man said he was busy doing anything else. As such, it is rumored that Stephanie McMahon has called for a rewrite of the script for tonight's Monday Night Raw and will be instead mocking or doing a parody of Glenn Beck. I think it's amusing. Also this week, we saw the return of two wrestlers, two on-air characters, off-air ironically, at house shows. In Waco, Texas, The Undertaker made his return sporting a new belly and a completely bald head. The man is definitively getting older, as is appearing evident every time he does appear. The Undertaker has caught some criticism from the interweb wrestling critics over his new weight gain. Jim Ross would blog about the return of The Undertaker, but says he would not quite speculate for sure of his involvement with WrestleMania 29, as it is not yet a done deal. I expect we will find out more tonight on Monday Night Raw. As far as the other return, People Power returned to the house show on two separate occasions, from what I've understood at this point. At one point, he did put Michael McGillicuddy and I believe it was Brodus Clay in a dance-off. Another event he would put Tensai in a dance-off with David Otunga. We are unsure at this moment of how this is going to play on as far as television goes, or if we can expect Mr. People Power, John Laurinaitis, to return to television or not. This has been This Week in News with your host, The Josh. Stay tuned, as next we're going to come back with another 5 Thoughts.
TheJoshSays.com is now live. Come check us out for columns, articles, and your favorite web show, The Josh Says.
Hello Josh fans, and welcome back. This is the 5 Thoughts, as I've explained before, is inspired in combination from a former guest star, The Watcher, and his 555, and a personal internet inspiration of mine, a man I do count as a friend over the internet, one Alex Goodlive, or Goodlive if you're on a radio station and listening, who does his 30 Thoughts on Raw every week after Monday Night Raw on the LOP website. Feel free to check him out, Al Lyman, or his other projects such as Jaded Hope. He also is a published author of, I believe it's 4 books now. You can check him out on Facebook as well with his Alexander Goodlive author website, or Jaded Hope. There's quite a few ways to track him down. You can also just come to The Josh Says at facebook.com/TheJoshSays, and I can pass you along to him as well. He is under our liked pages. Before getting into my 5 thoughts, I would like to personally say, beginning today is the 25th of February, it is my mother, the Josh's mother's birthday. So I would like to take a moment to say happy birthday, Mom, on the Most Must See Web show. Also, it is my father's mother, my grandmother's birthday as well. So happy birthday to both of you, who have a profound part of my life. As without either one of you, I would not be here. Which means you guys would not be entertained. Because, yeah, I'm awesome. So, for my 5 thoughts this time, I'm going to begin with WrestleMania 29. Thus far, things are feeling lackluster. However, things could change as of this evening, as we do have CM Punk and John Cena wrestling to determine who will be going on to WrestleMania to fight The Rock. Personally, I'm kind of hoping for a no decision of some sort, so that we may see a triple threat. I, along with many other people across the internet, are not interested in seeing The Rock and John Cena for a twice-in-a-lifetime match. It does kill the tag of once-in-a-lifetime from last year if they're doing it again. Granted, last year was not for the title, this year would be for the title, but personally I prefer not to see another one-on-one match, whereas the addition of CM Punk can add a new dynamic to the contest and allow for far more interesting developments. I also personally believe that it should have been CM Punk versus John Cena for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania this year. Undoubtedly, the two of them have had one of the most storied rivalries over the last year and a half, almost 2 years, that it should have come to their big blow-off at WrestleMania, with, unfortunately, John Cena being the one to finally unseat the reigning champion of over 400 days. I believe it would have been nearly 500 at that point. Nearly. Not quite, but nearly. To carry on next, for my second thought, I would like to point out that I do believe The Undertaker should be retiring at any point now. With his recent return, the extra weight gain, the balding head, his inability to continue going for more than 1 match a year, it is evident that it is time for him to hang up the boots. I am in the minority in the belief that he should lose his last WrestleMania to a younger talent who is believable enough to defeat him and yet can still benefit them for the long haul. The WWE is lacking in major stars, as there are very few who have reached the peak that some of the best during the Attitude Era had. In the Attitude Era, which I do not like to continue to reference despite what most people across the internet believe, there were a plethora of major stars in the company. Now, as far as the major stars go, they still have their bigger stars, but nothing that compares to back then. I do believe The Undertaker could be a big part in helping to establish one of the next big stars. Personally, I'm a big fan of Wade Barrett and think he should become one of the next big stars. There's also the chance of Big E Langston, who I did call a while ago as being the next breakout star from NXT. I did also reference Seth Rollins once, and they are both on the main roster, alongside Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, who should never speak, ever. For my third thought, I'd like to discuss how, personally, I myself believe The Rock has lost a step within the last year. Last year, he had that nostalgic factor, and the fact that it had been a very long time since he had been in the ring. I believe it was almost 10 years or so. And as such, the few matches, 2 actually matches that he had last year, along with his many promos and segments, were still fresh in the fact that it had been so long since they had been delivered. However, now, with another year in the books, and him again appearing, doing the same stuff all over again, and especially now leading into the same match all over again at WrestleMania, it just doesn't quite feel the way it did last year. Ironically, I was also pulling for John Cena last year against The Rock at WrestleMania, as I did not feel The Rock should be pulling out a win over a modern star. For thought number 4, I'd like to touch on the new WWE Championship that was debuted by The Rock. I do like the new title, however, I did feel that CM Punk should have been the one to debut the new championship. After having a record-breaking title run in a time frame where attention spans are far shorter than they were back even 10-15 years ago, that is quite the accomplishment for a year and a half. I feel he should have been the one that debuted the new title. However, I do understand the reason behind The Rock. As such, The Rock carrying around his nemesis' title would have been kind of ridiculous. As such, though, we do have a new WWE Championship. It does look nice, and I do like, I believe it was David Otunga commented on, or maybe it was MVP, commented on Twitter about it looking like a giant Super Bowl ring. I agree, it does kind of, and I do like that about it, since, you know, it is the big prize in the company. And arguably, the most prestigious world championship in all of wrestling at the moment. That could easily change. However, there is, the discussion as far as ROH and some independent promotions go, but due to their lack of exposure compared to the WWE, they cannot quite compete on the same level. That's not to say that their titles are not prestigious, or that their titles are not worthy, or their champions are not worthy, as I have personally seen Kevin Steen wrestle, and I can tell you that man is worthy of being a world champion. My final thought, I'm going to tell you right now what the best name possible could be for the Funkasaurus, Brodus Clay, and Prince Albert Tensai. That name, Fun at the Zoo. You know you love it. Tweet it, twat it, tout it, shout it, Facebook it, do whatever you gotta do, but you know what? That's the name that's gotta be stuck. These are the Josh's 5 thoughts. Until next time, which may not be until closer to WrestleMania, with a special Road to WrestleMania edition. Before I leave you, I would like to remind you that now, thejoshsays.com is live. We will be introducing new articles and columns here in the near future, written by myself, Sergeant Pretty Boy, Sean Turner, and new addition, Ryan Schmant, who I'm going to call Reichman. You know, like Ryback. It's catchy. You like it. You know you do. I'd also like to thank both of them for helping to put in some input and some inspiration, as well as a good kick in the ass to help me get going again. Additionally, as already mentioned, you can check me out on Facebook, facebook.com/TheJoshSays. On Twitter, it's JoshIsYourMom25. Until next time, I'm the Josh. This is the most must-see web show in history, and I am the most electrifying man on the interwebs. You know it. I know it. Go to the website. Thank you very much.